All right. Uh, Hello. My name is Kyle Padilla, and this will be my speech one video for the cultural artifact speech. So as you may or may not know, I am part Mexican. I'm 3/4 Mexican, and I'm also part white. So I decided to go with the Mexican part of my culture since I've never really known much about it. So that's what I decided to research for. I had to do a lot of research because I didn't know much about it. But in the end, if you had to pick an artifact, the one I settled on when I was doing research was this. They're called Santos. And that is how you say it. Don't say Santos. That's correct. For the correct pronunciation is Santos. And this is what they are. They are they're these right here. They are basically statues. They're religious statues that are built at Catholic churches. So you can see they both have handcraft. There's a handcrafted one right there. They come in both handcrafted and in like full size ones. Well, they were all handcrafted, but some of them are full size, some of them are only little. But and most of them were made out of wood. Most of I would say about 90% of the time were made out of wood. But yeah, here's a few examples of what they look like. It's not a cultural Spanish artifact actually. But the cool thing about these is that so a little bit of information. They first originated in the Spanish colonial area around the late 1700s, and the purpose of them being built was they were meant to represent the indigenous part of certain religions, specifically mainly Catholic. So they do kind of culturally represent something that Spanish wanted to stand for, which is that they're very religious and they wanted to make that known. So you'll see these artifacts a lot at Spanish and Mexican churches, both in the front of them outside and inside them, and at other religious places in Mexico and Spain. And that's where you can find them because obviously there's other religious places besides churches. There's a lot in the United States though too. For example, my experience with these would be there's these places in California called the California Missions, which were buildings built by the Spanish in the 1700s and 1800s when they were, first discovering California and moving westward. There's 21 of them in California, starting in San Diego and ending in Sonoma. But you see these artifacts that I just showed at every mission. I've been to all of them except one. I've been to 20 out of the 21 in California. So, yeah, I it's pretty cool. But the reason I picked these artifacts to do for this speech was because I truly felt like they were the most culturally, how would I say this, accurate. I don't think accurate's the word I want, but um, they were the most culturally accurate to like what I feel like that culture should be. Because when I think of like, okay, Mexican, Spanish stuff, I do think of I one of the things I do think about are those statues that I see at the missions. But here's the thing: I didn't know that that's what they were called at the time. I just knew that they were statues. I had no idea what they were called until I was doing the research for this speech. So that's why I say, because when I picture Mexican things in my head about the culture, that is one of the things I think about is those statues I see at the missions all the time. But that's what I would refer to as I would refer to them as those statues and those artifacts because I didn't know what their name was. But yeah, anyway, I hope you liked learning a little bit more about Santos, the cultural artifacts, statues, and handcrafted, you know, little artifacts. Thanks for watching, And subscribe to my YouTube channel, by the way. I have one. It's Vlogger306, and this video will actually be on there too, as well as I'm going to post the link in the Canvas database to be graded, obviously, but it will be on this same video will be on there, so make sure you check it out on my YouTube channel too. It's Vlogger306. And yeah, that's about all I have. So thank you for watching my speech. I'll see you guys next. I'll see you guys in the next speech probably. All right, bye-bye.